Hey guys, I'm going to explain today a little bit about compressions. There's several different strategies that you can use to compress the message from ASL to English. And the one I'm going to be discussing today is explaining by example strategy. So to do that, you need to take in the source language and understand what they're talking about. And I think the biggest thing is to know the goal of the message and the meaning of the message. And a lot of times in ASL, you explain things with many different examples, and that isn't really the focus, depending on that situation. But if that's not the focus of the point of the message, then you can just compress that to kind of summarize it and get the information through, but without explaining every single example. So here's my example from this summer when we interpreted the VRS scenario from ASL to English, and the deaf consumer was, as you guys know, meeting with the banker and talking about why his bank statement was off and he got declined at the store. So there's some really good compression examples at the beginning of this, but I found one later on in the text, and it had to do with when he was talking about the importance of finding out why his check wasn't in his bank and why his boss maybe forgot to deposit that check. And he talked about all the financial things that he needs to pay, and he can't pay because of his check not being deposited. So here's the example that the deaf consumer, the sentence that he uses, and then I will interpret that in English. So the deaf consumer is saying something like this. And well, first of all, what he's talking about is how he has to buy groceries, and his boss should know all the different expenses that he has to pay for, his bills. He has hungry kids and a wife at home that he has to put the food on the table for. And so instead of giving all those examples, I just compressed it to something like he needed to call his boss right away and inform him of all the financial responsibilities that he needs to take care of. So I took all those different examples and then compressed it into a English equivalent.